What the hell?
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 Hello, everybody, and welcome to What the Hell Should I Watch? Our weekly rundown of what we're watching, which may become what you're watching. And we come at you every Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific time on stevestebbing.ca. Let me get honest right off the bat. I promised a couple of movies last week, Psycho Killer and Midwinter Break. And, let's talk about those for a quick second because the only way I was seeing those is going on a little bit of a lengthy drive to Kelowna, to the far side of Kelowna to see it. And I looked at the Rotten Tomatoes score on Friday morning, and it was a big fat 0 for Psycho Killer. And it was quite...
It's at 10% now.
Is it at 10% now?
It's at 10% now.
It debuted at 0. It was
That's
a
good.
0. And Midwinter Break, when I saw the initial reviews, was like a 41. And it's now at about a 52, but it's still rotten. And I'm honestly going to put it out there that since my foray to Kelowna to go see Hurry Up Tomorrow, the weekend movie, I've been very wary about what I'll drive out there to go see now. I love the luxury of being able to drive out there and do it, but at the same time, is it worth the time and the gas and the money? Like, is it worth it? Is it really worth it? And I decided this weekend it wasn't worth it, but as soon as those ones are available to my eyeballs, I will bring them to the show to make up for it. I wanted to kick off this episode with something new, and hopefully this will be something kind of a regular-ish segment because I'm excited about this, but this is the mailbag. Yes, we have mail. Two comments that were left on one of our episodes a couple of weeks back. Just getting to them now, and there are a couple lengthy ones. The first one is from our friend Mr. Leopard, who's already left a comment for us before about the great Master of Disguise. It says, regarding Shelter, I did a screener for this one a couple of weeks ago and didn't have high expectations. I had done Working Men as well and found it serviceable, so that's what I was expecting. But I wound up really liking it because of Jessie. She's the hidden gem here. For all of Statham's stoicism and macho, he's directly countered by Jessie's laughter, her tears, her surprising bravery, and her ability to call him out. It's a role that could have been mopey and annoying, but Brethnach instead uses her to ground the film. She also played Susanna in Hamnet. I knew I'd recognized her. And I honestly didn't realize that until after the film. Being a film's emotional core is a huge load. I'd say this is the best Statham film since The Bank Job, which is a pretty solid Statham film. I would say Wrath of Man might be the last movie I really, really liked that Statham was in. Regarding Iron Lung, it's a twofer. My son had been waiting for this one for 3 years. He was disappointed in how few cinemas it was going to be in, but then it picked up steam and we got to see it locally. Because holy shit, that movie's still playing, I believe, in a lot of theaters, which is very cool. I actually really dug it. I saw reviews complaining about the pacing, but I thought that was excellent. It kept a tense atmosphere the whole time and never let up. See, that kind of goes with what I'm saying. You need patience to really dig into this film. I found myself really rooting for Simon. There's a temptation to explore the bigger mystery of the universe, but I thought they were smart in keeping it focused on Simon. We know just enough to know the stakes. I also got Event Horizon vibes, but also a bit of 12 Monkeys. What a gripping journey. So there's more reason that you want to see Iron Lung right there.
Yeah.
And if you listen to the latest episode of After the Credits, Bill gives a glowing review of this one as well. So it's a big recommend for Iron Lung. People should check it out because it's fucking killer. The more I think about it, the more I like that film. I'm probably gonna say this name wrong. Tofis to death. Two-Fist to death.
Probably that.
Probably Tofist to death. It says why Wheel of Time was canceled is a little complicated. In large part is due to the money. It was a very expensive show to make and didn't make the returns they wanted. The first season was controversial because many of the fans of the books didn't like some of the changes made, as is all adaptations. So there was a very vocal contingent of people being extremely negative about it everywhere. That plus general first season stuff every show has, and the filming of episodes 7 and 8 being hugely affected by the first wave of COVID lockdowns, making it kind of uneven. That sucks. That sucks when COVID kills your momentum. Though a lot of people, especially people who like fantasy in general, weren't already familiar with the books, already familiar with the books, really loved it. The second season was generally regarded as much better by people who both hated and loved the first season alike. And the third season, even people who hated the previous seasons thought was very good. The third season was extremely highly rated, and season 3, episode 4 was lauded as one of the best episodes of fantasy TV ever.
Wow, yeah.
But that couldn't save it from the bean counters. True that. And especially when I have a show with the price tag of Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, which costs a lot. Fallout, I'm sure, costs a lot. And I want to say that Sony foots the bill for The Boys, because I feel like The Boys is like mostly Sony produced. So I don't know
I don't
how
see
much
why Amazon wouldn't, though.
Yeah, they probably put some money in on that.
Like,
too.
probably in the beginning, Sony was footing it, and then Amazon realized how profitable it was.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, that is the mailbag for this time around. So let's see what we got for your eyeballs. That's right, fresh for your eyeballs. And I've been teasing this one for a bit, and I finally got to it. This one was Spain's submission for Best Foreign Film at the Academy Awards this year. And this one knocked me on my ass. This is Sirāt.
A father, accompanied by his son, goes looking for his missing daughter in North Africa. Starring Sergei Lopez, Bruno Nunez Arjona, Richard Bellamy, Stefania Gatta, Joshua Liam Henderson, Tonin Hanvier, and Jade Ukid. Written and directed by Óliver Laxe.
This is going to be a tough one because I really have to stay kind of quiet about a lot of the development that happens in this film. But essentially, Sergei Lopez, who is the villain of Pan's Labyrinth, he's the general. Right, yeah. Him and his son are looking for his daughter at like a rave in a Moroccan desert. He hasn't seen her for 6 months, and she's like part of that whole subculture, right?
Right.
Which largely this movie is largely about the subculture of that rave, that pulsing like rave beat, and why it's so enticing for a culture of people, right? But basically, he falls in with people that says it's possible that your daughter could be at another rave. So he kind of follows them and ends up falling in with them, to him and his young son, to go to this other rave, and they're taking this treacherous route through to this other party in the desert. And this movie shocked me, like absolutely, like pushed my buttons, like shocked me. I there was a few points in this film that I had my hands to my head, like, oh my god, Like honestly, and um completely unpredictable, and visually absolutely stunning, and audibly like alive, and with that pulse of those drums and that bass and everything. And my regretfulness is that I watched it on a screener and not in theaters, because of course no theater at all in my area would have this film. Um, but I was just astounded by this film, and on it, there's even stuff that reminded me of Mad Max Fury Road when they're in the desert and they're driving through the desert and it's this convoy of two trucks. Like it just had that feel to me, like that look, that endless landscape, and um yeah, this is an intense one. I highly, highly recommend it. I think you would really be into this film.
Okay.
I think it is a special piece of work. And I've never heard of the director before, but I'm definitely on the lookout now for what's next, because this one actually, a lot of people, audience and critics alike, really like this film. So it is an intense piece of work. Let's get a little nerdy on this one. It was shot by Mauro Hers, who shot a film called La Lucha, but we know it as Dance of the Living, and we saw it at VIFF last
Yes.
year.
Yeah.
Which is a gorgeous film.
Yes.
Really beautifully done. And it was not a luchador film like I thought it was.
No. We were
it was
very confused.
It was a different type of lucha wrestling. Very different. Some trivia here. Apart from Sergei Lopez, most of the cast of this film were non-professionals, as evidenced by the characters' names being the same as their real names or their nicknames, like Tonin, Bigwee, Steph, Josh, and Jade. They were selected during a street casting process, and their characters are mostly marginals who live off the grid or are performers in street festivals. So yeah, buskers essentially. Pedro Almodovar, Michael Mann, and Luca Guadagnino all called this one of their favorite films of 2025. That's good for Luca, because he probably made one of the worst films of 2025. That's harsh, but I really didn't like After the Hunt. John Waters ranked Sirāt as his fourth favorite film of 2025. So yeah, I'm hoping to bring this back when you see it. Yeah, it was so good. So good. It's a 4.5 out of 5 on my Letterboxd right now. So damn good film. Let's move on to another surprise, and this one happens to be telefilm produced, Canadian, and you got to celebrate that, especially when a good Canadian comedy is doing so well in theaters right now. But this one gripped me on cast alone, and actually came through. This one's called In Cold Light.
Ava attempts to go straight after prison, but her twin is murdered, and being a witness to the shooting, she is forced to run for her life. Starring Maika Monroe, Troy Kotsur, Helen Hunt, and Alan Hawko. Directed by Maxime Gouraud.
Alan Hawko is like Canadian TV, like good guy royalty. He's Murdoch in Murdoch Mysteries. So he's like kind of Canadian staple at this point. Like I guarantee there's a lot of like a retiree community that absolutely loves Alan Hawko. But this is like your gritty crime drama, and who better to put in the lead role than Maika Monroe? Maika Monroe has such like a stoicness in her performance. A lot lent from Longlegs. I felt like that, like she plays trauma really, really well.
Yeah.
And this one is about, really badly sewn together family bonds. Troy Kotsur plays her dad, who's a deaf actor. He was just in Primate recently, but he was
Okay.
also
Oh, I
in
saw that.
Oh, you saw Primate?
Yeah.
Nice. Do you want to talk about it later?
Sure. I totally
Okay.
forgot that I saw it.
Okay, good. Coming soon. Very soon. But I love Troy Kotsur. And he's just such a damn good actor. And every time I've seen him brought out, I feel like they haven't used his disability in a really gimmicky way. I feel like they've actually done it quite well, and In Cold Light does it quite well again. And who's the other actor in this? Anyway, as far as a thriller goes,
Helen Hunt is the other actor.
Oh, right, Helen Hunt. There's a great little bit at the end with Helen Hunt. She's honestly not in the film at all until basically the tail end of the third act, but gives a really, really great performance. It's almost like kind of scene stealing, like William Hurt was in A History of Violence, where it's just kind of just gives that extra foreboding punctuation to it, because she plays a heavy, which is so really interesting to see Helen Hunt as like a kingpin bad guy. Like it's a very interesting casting, complete with aesthetic kind of tinted glasses that she's wearing too. And I wasn't really expecting a lot from this film, but honestly, it came through as a very solid and effective thriller that had a few very surprising scenes to it. And it also has kind of that rural approach that, like, because the Troy Kotsur's character is a bull rider, so it's kind of got that kind of farm flavor to it. But yeah, a really solid Canadian film. And I like that. I like being able to say that. It gives me pride in our filmmaking here in Canada. Yeah. But the director of this one, Maxime Giroux, being the music video nerd that I am, getting into some nerdy bits here. I did the music video for a band called Pilot. Did a song called Into Your Hideout, which is a choice song and a great Canadian cut. Pilot being out of Montreal. Really, really great band. I don't even think they're together anymore. And it was written by Patrick Whistler, who did a film for Bruce McDonald called Dreamland that had Stephen McHattie in it and Henry Rollins. It was a weird ass movie. And wrote a handful of episodes of a show called Cardinal, which is like a serial killer Canadian TV series that features our friend Billy Campbell in the lead role. And it was shot by Sarah Mishara, who shot a film I liked quite a bit with Margaret Qualley in it before Margaret Qualley was like the it girl, called My Salinger Year, which is a really solid little drama. Her and Sigourney Weaver's in that one too. Really solid film. But In Cold Light, it's being distributed exclusively by Elevation through Telefilm. I think it is just a well put together thriller. I was honestly kind of just surprised. This is one of the delightful surprises of 2026, I think. And with Maika Monroe, you can't really go wrong with not getting a solid film. I think she makes some good choices. All right, moving on. You just heard Chloe talking about it last week, but I watched it yesterday. Now I want to talk about it. This is Greenland 2, Migration.
The surviving Garrity family must leave the safety of the Greenland bunker and embark on a perilous journey across the decimated frozen wasteland of Europe to find a new home. Starring Gerard Butler, Morena Baccarin, and Roman Griffin Davis. Directed by Rick Roman Waugh.
So 5 years passed, right?
Yeah.
That's what the timeline is? So how did he go from 7 to 15? Jordan, or is it Jordan?
Don't ask me to remember names. That's not going to happen.
His name's John. I know his name's John.
Okay.
This movie I would like to call Greenland 2, a series of unfortunate events, because it just feels like they're going from event to event to event to event.
Yeah.
There's even at one point, I think when they're crossing the Thames, just after crossing the Thames, within there's like those chasms and like a rope bridge and like the ladders and stuff, where as they start to break away and he goes, "You got to be kidding me." And I'm like, yeah, man, I feel you. Because it like is just like one thing after another. They can't settle for more than a moment. There's some really funny like kills, I guess.
Mhm.
Like when the guy runs back to his van and gets smoked by all the comments. There's just like really funny and stupid decisions throughout this film. And it's like, is it bad to be around that family? If you're a survivor, it's probably bad to be
You
around
will
that
die
family.
around these people. Their plot armor is so strong
It's
that just
so
being in their
strong.
general vicinity means you will die.
Their plot armor was so strong that I was scared for the new girl that they brought on their journey, that they ended up picking up in their journey when they were in France. I was like, uh-oh. How strong are you? Again, it's fine.
It's fun to watch. Like,
yeah,
it is just event after event after
it
event.
so is.
But it's just things are happening on my screen. And
yeah, it's
thank
just
you for
kind of
that.
goofy. It is just kind of
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
goofy in
Yeah.
a lot of sense. And yeah, I like, and okay, since we both seen it now, the Moses-ness of him guiding them to the promised land and not seeing it is like, and you already knew it was going to happen, right? Because they're
Well,
like,
yeah,
"Oh, you got a bad
it's
cough," and like,
yeah.
so they just got to shoot him for extra measure to make sure he's really going to die. But then there's like, I don't know, it just gets so overwrought in the imagery and everything. And I mean, like I said, though, it is entertaining. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And
Nobody was expecting this to be some sort of God-given piece of art.
no. And I would say that the CG has gone down a little level since the first film. There was some stuff on the water that I was like, ooh. Ooh. The tidal wave scene itself. The big tsunami scene. I was like, ooh. That one's not great. But the only thing about this, and I think I said it about Crime 101 last week, is once you're done watching it, you'll probably never think about it again.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like what the first one was too. I think it was like the surprise that they had made a second film. It had made it all the way to being filmed, and it was done, and it was now here, except in Canada.
Like this is like the kind of film that's like Chinese food, you know? You consume it, and then a couple hours later you're still hungry. So
yeah, you're looking for something else. You're gonna watch,
yeah.
And that's how you end up watching like something bad, like Independence Day Resurgence or something. 2012. You're like, oh, have I seen 2012? You go back and watch it. You're like, oh yeah, actually I have. Have I seen Moonfall? Oh yeah, I definitely have.
Yeah, I mean, like junk food movies. Like,
yeah, absolute junk food movies.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with it once in a while.
No,
but
honestly, and I just saw it at the store the other day, and I should have grabbed it. I think the ultimate palate cleanser should always be, at least for the foreseeable future, Godzilla -1. I think it is a good palate cleanser because it's like that level of stuff, but like actually done good.
Yeah. Before getting on the show tonight, I was actually watching the Godzilla from 1998.
Oh boy, the Broderick one?
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I'm like half an hour in, and I'm like,
okay, you're bringing it next week. You're bringing it next week.
Okay.
You're bringing it next week. That's how it's going.
Julius is forcing me to watch it. So.
Okay. Oh, he's a fan?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's seen this one. I haven't seen anyone before the 2014 one. Okay. And that's what got me into Godzilla.
I saw it on acid in Prince George.
Nice.
There's a little glimpse into my youth. let's get nerdy with Greenland 2 Migration. It was written, both films were written by Chris Sparling, who wrote Buried with Ryan Reynolds, the whole movie
Yeah.
where he's in a coffin.
I like that movie.
And Mitchell LaFortune co-wrote this one with him. He did the Simu underwater film Last Breath that came out, I think it was last year.
Yeah.
The score for this one done by David Buckley. I already talked about him when I talked about Shelter. Just like when I talked about Martin Algren, who shot this film. But Algren's next film is a film called Silence of Mercy, a new drama. It's done by a director named Floria Sigismondi, who did the Joan Jett biopic, The Runaways, with Kristen Stewart.
Okay.
Which is a damn good. I like that film quite a bit. It takes liberties with the true story, obviously, but it's still pretty solid. Some technical stuff. The filming of this of Greenland 2 took place in the UK in May 2024, and it was originally supposed to be released on March 28th, 2025, but was later postponed indefinitely.
Yes.
Until a January release, where it was only released in the States. Including this film, it marks the fourth collaboration between Rick Romanois and Gerard Butler. Previous works include Angel Has Fallen, Greenland, and the upcoming sequel, Night Has Fallen. And I think Chloe put it the most succinctly. This is Chinese food. This is quick. This is a quick double cheeseburger at the drive-thru. You're going to be hungry later. It's absolute junk food.
Yeah.
Even how much emotion they put into this one, and even with the survive, like he's asking survivor stories and everything, and you're supposed, it's everyone's just cannon fodder. Like it doesn't even really matter. So yeah, that's just kind of how I felt about this one. All right, let's move on to a film I checked out recently, even though this one's from back in 2023. But funny enough, Chloe and I saw this director's new film at VIFF this year, but this one is called Green Border.
A family of refugees from Syria, an English teacher from Afghanistan, and a border guard all meet on the Polish-Belarusian border during the most recent humanitarian crisis in Belarus. Starring Jalal Altawil, Maya Ostaszewska, Thomas Wolsock, Behi Janati Atai, Mohammed Al-Rashid, Dalia Naus, Masij Stur, and Agata Kuliza, written and directed by Agnieszka Holland.
And Agnieszka Holland did Franz.
Oh,
was her last film. And Franz is a fucking... The more I think about that film, the more it's a masterpiece.
I really like that film.
It is incredible. It's a doozy of a film. It really is.
Oh, yeah.
And probably the film of hers that I've connected the most with in probably the last couple decades. Because Mr. Jones I wasn't really into. There's just been a bunch that haven't landed for me. But Green Border is a film that definitely landed with me. First and foremost for how relevant and absolutely relevant it is right now. The plight of the refugee and countries just giving them the cold shoulder. Like this, essentially what this film is a group of refugees from all different areas that have come together as a group that now are getting ping-ponged around different countries, kicked out of one country, sent to the border of another country, just like all over the place. And then the people within the country that either shun them completely, or the people that choose to harbor them and help them. But then at the same time, the people that turn in those people, the people that kind of whistle blow on those people that are trying to help. So there's so many different things at play in this movie. It's done in black and white, which I think is pretty effective, doing a story like that in kind of like just stark tones. and yeah, it's a really poignant story. It is a bit long. It's about 2.5 hours long, but it has such resonance to it. Especially right now, as we're at 4 years now for the Russian-Ukrainian war now. I think as of this
Yeah.
month, it's 4 years. And this film was released in 2023. So kind of like after that war had been going on for a year already. And nothing's changed. It's only gotten, if anything, it's gotten worse. For the struggle of the refugees or just somebody seeking asylum, and now first world countries like the US are horrible places for that to happen. So I don't know. I think Green Border is a very important film as far as information cinema goes. And I think people should check it out. The film is a couple of years old now, but its message is still really strong. And what a great filmmaker to bring this story to life. And then for her to go from this to the biopic of Franz is just absolutely mind blowing, because Franz is very, very visual, very experience driven as well. So
Yeah.
definitely cool stuff. The just one little nerdy bit about this one: it was shot by Thomas Namiuk, who usually works with Agnieszka, who also shot Franz as well, but shot a Robert Pattinson film done by Claire Denis, who is like a very famous French director, called High Life. It's a sci-fi film set on a basically expedition spaceship. It's a fucking hell of a film. Highly recommended. Mia Goth's in it too, Julia Binoche. Like it's a really, really, really crazy film.
I feel like I've seen this. I don't really remember though.
I could say one thing that you'd be like, oh, I know what you're talking about, or huh? There's a fuck box. Yeah, see,
still maybe, still maybe.
Have you seen Good Time? I just saw a clip of it on Instagram just before recording this, and I just reminded me how great that movie is.
I don't think I have.
Okay, you should see that one too. It's really good. But straying off track, yes, you should see High Life as well. But Green Border, I think you should see Green Border too. I think it's also, I think it's up your alley as well. I think these kind of social films are on your radar now, I think. And I think you would pick up what I'm picking up off of it as well. Definitely interesting stuff. All right, let's move on to something that I added to my library. New to the library, and more importantly, new to my Stephen King collection within the library. I've added another one. I added The Dark Half with Timothy Hutton. The book, The Dark Half, was the last book that Stephen King wrote before he got sober.
Okay.
And it was also about, it also caused him to come to tell the world that Richard Bachman was his pseudonym. Because this is a film about an author with a pseudonym, and the pseudonym is coming after him to kill him.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes, The Dark Half is coming after him. And
right.
I'm not going to bury the lead on this one. This film was directed, another collaboration between the author and the director, by George A. Romero. So
nice.
Yes. So not only is it adding to my Stephen King collection, it's adding to my Romero collection, which is a big deal for me because I love George Romero. Dawn of the Dead is in the realm of movies that got me into film. So I'll always be all about George A. Romero. So now I have The Dark Half. I haven't seen this movie since it was on VHS, so it's going to be really fun to revisit this one as well. And I definitely watched it when I was too young to watch it. So watching it as an adult might be interesting. All right.
But yeah. So it's a smooth transition, right?
So good. Just stopped me in my tracks. I was like, floor is yours.
All right. Let's, I guess, start off with the big piece. There's a big piece and a little piece. A big butt and a little butt.
And primate.
And that one. And monkey butt. Okay, let's start off with primate then. The monkey is creepy as hell.
Yes, he so is.
Like, not in the way that I usually find monkeys creepy. Creepy in like the that's not a real monkey, and I know that's not a real monkey, and it looks like it's not a real monkey, and that freaks the hell out of me. Because monkeys are already like something that's not yet human, but then you take something that's already subhuman and then make it even further removed from being human, and then also removing it from being subhuman. It's too many layers of fake, and I don't even know how to describe this. This is some like primal shit in my brain. But yeah, the monkey just freaks the hell out of me. I was not expecting such detail in the gore.
Yeah.
Like, the first injury, I was like, oh my god.
To open the movie with that too?
Yeah. Just, oh my god. All the kills are good.
Mm-hmm.
This movie does suffer from stupid character syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, when the main girl, I don't remember anybody's names at all.
It's been too long for me, so
I just didn't care. But the girl whose dad owns the monkey, okay?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Her and her friend go up, and then they're running back down because Ben, that's who I remember his name, the monkey is Ben. Because Ben is running down and like trying to rip their faces off like chimpanzees do. And the friend trips on the stairs, and the other one just keeps running, but then she's like, oh no, and turns back, and then she's lying on the stairs, and then Ben's like holding like a rock over her head to bash her head in, and then the other girl's just watching it happen. Like, she runs over there like she's gonna do something, and then she's just and then when he brings the rock down and smashes for the first time, then she goes, no! Like, you could have done that 5 seconds ago. You were standing here for so long, doing nothing. Why'd you even come over here if you weren't going to do anything? And then the classic, like, oh, these are the keys to the other car, not this car.
Mm-hmm.
Because of course, if anybody runs into a car, that happens, and there's 2 cars, that always happens. It literally happened in Christie. Yeah, I mean, this is a slasher movie, but instead of a serial killer, it's a monkey.
Mm-hmm.
And
exactly
I love that because it's different, but it still suffers from what I want to say every slasher movie suffers from, and that's dumb characters.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else, though, was great. Yeah. Like, it was a fun watch for sure, but the stupidity of the characters frustrated me.
I love the scene where Troy Kotsur comes home, and because he's deaf, he doesn't know.
Yeah,
he's being attacked in the other room. I think that's just like I said, great use of the deaf trope.
Yeah. Next one is a crazy far back pull, but I watched it for the first time a week ago, I think, and that is The Truman Show.
I love this.
I loved this movie, of course. I don't think that's surprising. Um, I mean, like, I like how we are given the perspective of the greater world. Like, we're let in right away that, like, this is fake. This is a TV show, but Truman doesn't know that. But you do now because we're telling you right away, and so does everybody else who's watching it. And you kind of can't help but dislike the audience that is watching this and is condoning this. But at the same time, you are them. You are also watching this. So I don't know. I felt like that kind of like parallel there, and that kind of like pointing the finger, which I don't have a problem with. I liked that.
Mm-hmm.
And especially with the ending when he decides to leave, and then everybody is like, let's just see what else is on.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody was so obsessed with him. Everybody was crazy about him for years, watching 24 hours a day for 30 something years.
Mm-hmm.
And then just, it's over. Let's see what else is on. I thought that ending was fantastic. Ed Harris is great.
Yes. Yeah.
Just the crazy, like, creative. He did that so well. Yeah, I mean, I've never heard you talk about this film, so I want to hear your thoughts a little bit.
Yeah, it's Peter Weir, who is like an Australian auteur, made a lot of incredible films. And honestly, after Truman Show, I think he only made Master and Commander, Far Side of the World, and The Way Back, which I believe is like 10-year gap at least for each of those films. And as far as Jim Carrey goes, this is Jim Carrey exploring drama really for the first time.
Still with that like comedic edge though.
Yeah, still with a comedic edge to it. Especially in a few key scenes, but his switch is really good. He can really turn it on. Of course, he's had many great dramatic roles since that I really love, like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I really like The Majestic as well, even though it was kind of critically panned at the time of release. But Truman Show is special, and one of two movies kind of about a guy unwittingly being on TV, because this one came out the same year as Ed TV with Matthew McConaughey. But that one was more skewed for comedy. But there, yeah, like you said, there is a lot of subtext to this film. And being the Jim Carrey fan that I was at the time, I was probably just more into it because of Jim Carrey, not as for the full film. And I actually do own it on 4K.
Nice.
And it definitely deserves another rewatch to I think flesh out bigger thoughts on it, because I love the audience pull that you got from it, and it makes a lot of sense. It would be a very pointed message for Peter Weir to have, and I wouldn't put it past him for a second.
And then the last little butt that I want to bring up, like I said last week, American Dad season 22 premiered on Sunday, and I watched it. I watched the first episode because they're releasing it an episode at a time again, because it's on network, right? So I watched it today because they'll be releasing the episode initially on Sunday nights on Fox, and then they'll be put on Hulu Disney on the Monday.
That makes sense.
There's already been changes. One of the first jokes is them poking at like how they're back on Fox and they don't know how it's going to work out. It's like we get a meta joke right off the bat, and that's such a Fox thing to do. Like Family Guy's been doing it for years, since its inception, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Unfortunately, and yes, I'm using the word unfortunately, American Dad is now starting to borrow a lot from Family Guy. Just in this first episode, it is immediate, it is noticeable, and I don't like it.
Uh-oh.
This is really upsetting for me. it's just the weird, haphazard, let's move around all crazy and then that's a joke, which Family Guy has been doing a lot, especially in the previous season. The new season, I watched those episodes today as well, and they actually aren't too half bad, especially the first 2 episodes. But anyways, the episode of American Dad overall was good, but the Fox influence is just so obvious. There was a COVID joke, and American Dad has never brought up COVID ever, not once. And then the first time that they're back on Fox, there's a COVID joke. It was a pretty good joke, but it's still a COVID joke, and they don't do that. They haven't done that. So yeah, I'm already not particularly enjoying the Fox influence. So we'll just have to see where it goes and if they can find a balance between the identity that they were able to cultivate through TBS and try to carry that over a bit more into the new born again Fox era.
Born again Fox era. I love that. Good way to put it. All right, we're almost ready to get out of here, but I got a couple of reminders first. That's right, on 4K through Cineverse's own pressing, they are releasing the new holiday favorite, Silent Night, Deadly Night, the remake with Rohan Campbell. And you know what? Surprisingly, I thought this movie was a lot of fun. It's axe murder with a purpose. It's got a little frailty to it, kind of. But I reviewed this one on the December 19th episode, so you can go back and check out that one. And also on Blu-ray this week through Shout Factory, you can pick up Deathstalker. This is the newest film from Steven Kostanski, who is the Psycho Goreman guy. He also did The Void, did Frankie Frico. He's a hell of a fun filmmaker, and is remaking the 1983 fantasy classic Deathstalker with this one. And Daniel Bernhardt having a hell of a time in this film. He's having a lot of fun. And a friend of mine, Paul Lazenby, is in this one, doing his villain thing and doing it well. So check that one out. I reviewed it on the December 5th episode, and I actually saw it at the Vancouver International Film Festival as part of my pre-screening before the festival even started. So I watched that one at home and had a riot with it. It was definitely a lot of fun. All right, we're just about to get out of here, but what are we going to talk about next week? Next week on the show, I can't believe we're here, but Scream 7 is what I am checking out this week. I believe a lot of people are boycotting this film due to Melissa Barrero being fired for making a tweet about a pro-Palestinian tweet. Got her fired.
Oh yeah, I heard about
and
this.
Scrapped the whole Carpenter Sisters part of this new Scream story, which I was kind of actually enjoying. I believe they were making Melissa's character the next serial killer. She's Billy Loomis's daughter, so I thought that's where this film was going. But we'll never know, because we're back to the original cast. Kevin Williamson is writing and directing this one. Of course, he wrote the original screenplay for Scream in the first place, so it's kind of giving it back to the guy that started it. Also, I'm going to try to check out Michelle Franco's Dreams, starring Jessica Chastain. This is an erotic drama, is what it's described as. So,
with Jessica Chastain?
With Jessica Chastain, that's right.
Okay.
Also, Man on the Run, the Paul McCartney documentary about Wings. That one is going to be playing on Prime Video, so I'll bring my review of that. I've got a Well Go title, Rescue at Dongji. It actually has really good reviews.
Chinese, right?
Yeah, it's got really good reviews though. It came out and like it's got like an 86 on Rotten Tomatoes right now, so pretty
Okay.
solid reviews. One that you can check out on Mubi, but will be on Blu-ray soon. Lurker. I finally getting to check that one out, and I am gonna watch Pillion. Yes, I am. I'm gonna finish that movie because I'm so intrigued by what I've seen so far. But that brings us to a close here. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, Threads, and Blue Sky at the Stevel Dead.
You can find me on Letterboxd at HoneyBunChloe.
You can also find all of the episodes for this show on stevestebbing.ca or go to the YouTube page and please like and subscribe. You can also find us on shiftheads.ca. You can hear me a few different places. First, on After the Credits with Marina, Bill, and Melissa. You can find those episodes at atcpod.ca. You can also hear me on Tremble, the Horror Podcast with Kurt and Taylor. You can find those episodes at 3angrynerds.com. And you can also hear me now on Kelowna's AM 1150 every Friday just after the 8:30 news break. And you can also hear me on Shane Hewitt and the Night Shift, Friday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Toronto's News Talk 1010, found on the iHeartRadio network. You can also get all of those episodes wherever you get your favorite podcast. And that does it for us. We've emptied out our list for this week, so until next week, bye-bye.